Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Nightly English Mics. I am your host, Mike, and as always, I am super excited to be chatting with you all tonight.
And I'm Sarah. It is so good to be here. I have my coffee ready, I'm sitting comfortably, and I'm ready to dive into today's topic. How are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic, Sarah. Honestly, I've had a really busy week, so just sitting here and talking to you feels like a nice break. I've been running around like a headless chicken all week.
A headless chicken? That is a great idiom to start the show. It means you've been rushing around in a panic, right?
Exactly. Just busy, busy, busy. But now I'm relaxed. Well, mostly relaxed. Until we start talking about today's topic. It might stress me out a little bit.
Oh dear. I think I know why. Today we are talking about something that affects almost everyone listening to this. We are talking about a digital detox.
Digital detox. Just saying those words makes me reach for my pocket to check my phone. It's scary.
It is a bit scary, but for our listeners who might not know this phrase, let's break it down. Digital obviously refers to our devices, phones, laptops, tablets, and detox is short for detoxification. Usually people detox from bad food or sugar, right?
Right. It means to get the bad stuff out of your system. So a digital detox is basically taking a break from technology to clear your mind and reduce stress. It sounds simple, but as we know, it is easier said than done.
Definitely easier said than done. I actually looked up some statistics before we started recording. Mike, do you want to guess how much time the average person spends on their phone every day?
Oh, wow. I don't know. Maybe 3 hours?
I wish. It's actually closer to 7 hours for the average internet user. And for teenagers and young adults, it can be even higher.
7 hours? No way. Sarah, that is almost a full-time job. That is insane.
I know, right? When I read that, I felt a bit sick. But then I looked at my own screen time report on my phone and, well, let's just say I wasn't far off.
You are brave for looking. I try to ignore those weekly reports. I just swipe them away. I don't want to know the truth. But seriously, why do you think it has gotten this bad? Why can't we put them down?
That is the big question. I think it's designed to be addictive. You know, when you post a photo and someone likes it, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine. It feels good, so you want to do it again.
It's a trap. It really is. I notice it with myself. If I have one spare moment, like if I'm waiting for the elevator or waiting for the kettle to boil, I immediately pull out my phone. It's like a reflex. I don't even think about it.
Me too. It's like we have forgotten how to just be. We always have to be entertained. And I think that constant noise is really bad for our mental health.
Totally. It causes so much anxiety. Have you ever heard of the term doom scrolling?
Yes, that is when you sit there and scroll through bad news for hours and hours, right?
Exactly. You read one bad story, then another and another. You want to stop, but you can't. You just keep scrolling down. And afterwards, you feel terrible. You feel heavy and sad.
I have definitely done that, especially late at night. And then I wonder why I can't fall asleep.
That is the worst time to do it. But it's not just the news, is it? It's also the comparison game.
Oh, that is a huge part of it. You go on Instagram and you see everyone's perfect lives. They are on vacation in Bali, or they just bought a new car, or their skin looks perfect. And you look at your own life and think, my life is boring.
I struggle with that a lot. Logically, I know it's not real. I know they use filters and they only show the good parts, but emotionally, it still hurts a little bit. You feel like you are missing out.
FOMO, fear of missing out. It's a real condition.
It really is. But Sarah, let's talk about how this affects our real-life relationships, because I think that is the saddest part.
I agree. Have you ever been to a restaurant and seen a whole family sitting at a table, but nobody is talking?
Yes, I see it all the time. The parents are on their phones, the kids are on iPads. They're physically together, but mentally, they're all in different worlds.
It's heartbreaking. I actually have a rule with my friends now. When we go out for dinner, we play the stack game.
The stack game? What is that? I've never heard of it.
Okay, it's fun. Everyone has to put their phone in the middle of the table, face down, in a stack or a pile.
Okay, I'm listening.
And the first person who reaches for their phone, even just to check the time, has to pay the bill for everyone.
No way! That is high stakes. That is risky.
It works, though. Nobody wants to pay for 5 dinners, so everyone ignores their phones. And you know what happens? We actually talk. We laugh. We connect. That is brilliant. I am definitely going to steal that idea. Although knowing my friends, they might just let me pay. You need better friends than Mike. But seriously, it just shows that we need to force ourselves to disconnect sometimes. We need boundaries. Boundaries. That is a great word. It means setting limits. So, Sarah, have you ever tried a serious digital detox, like giving up your phone for a whole day or a week? I have tried and failed. I tried to do a no-phone Sunday a few months ago. I thought, oh, this will be easy. I'll just read and go for a walk. And how did it go? Well, the morning was okay. I made pancakes, I drank coffee, but then around noon, I wanted to cook a specific recipe for lunch, and I realized the recipe was on my phone. Ah, the practical problems. Exactly. I didn't have a cookbook, so I thought, okay, I'll just check the recipe quickly. But as soon as I unlocked the phone, I saw 3 WhatsApp messages and an email from work. And you got sucked in? I got sucked in. I spent 20 minutes replying to messages, and by the time I put the phone down, I felt guilty. I had broken my promise to myself. Don't be too hard on yourself. It happens to the best of us. Our lives are so integrated with these devices now. It's hard to separate them. You need your phone for banking, for maps, for recipes, even for bus tickets. That's the problem. It's a tool we need, but it's also a toy that distracts us. It's like trying to diet, but you have to carry a box of donuts in your pocket everywhere you go. That is the perfect analogy. It really is like carrying donuts in your pocket. I actually had a different experience recently. I went camping with my brother. Oh, nice. Did you have service there? That's the thing. We didn't know. We drove about 4 hours into the mountains. And as we were driving up this winding road, I watched the signal bars on my phone go down. 4 bars, 3 bars, 1 bar, and then no service. Panic. Honestly, ideally, I would say I was happy. But for the first hour, I was anxious. I kept checking my pocket. I felt this phantom vibration. Do you know what that is? Yes, that's when your leg feels like the phone is buzzing, but it's actually not doing anything. It's a hallucination. Exactly. I had that all afternoon. I wanted to check the news. I wanted to post a picture of the mountain on Instagram, but I couldn't. I was forced to detox. So what happened after the anxiety wore off? It was magic, Sarah, truly. By the time the sun went down, we had a fire going. We sat there and just stared at the fire. And we talked. My brother and I, we usually just send memes to each other. But that night, we talked about our careers, our future, our childhood. We talked for hours. That sounds beautiful. It was. And I slept like a baby. No blue light in my eyes, just the sound of the wind. I woke up the next morning feeling so refreshed. It made me realize how much energy my phone drains from me. That is such a powerful story. It really shows that the connection we are looking for isn't on the screen. It's right in front of us. Precisely. But we can't go camping every day, unfortunately. I have to work. So we need to figure out how to bring that camping mindset into our daily lives. I agree. We need practical tips. Things our listeners can actually do starting tomorrow. I've been reading a book about this called Digital Minimalism, and it has some great ideas. Oh, I've heard of that book. What does it suggest? One big tip is to turn off notifications, and I mean all of them, except for maybe phone calls. All of them? Even WhatsApp? Yes. Think about it. Do you really need to know the exact second your friend asks you, "What's up?" Probably not. You can check your messages on your own schedule, maybe once an hour. That sounds terrifying, but also liberating. If my phone doesn't buzz, I won't look at it. Exactly. You take back control. You decide when to look instead of the phone telling you to look. Okay, I can see the logic in that. What else? Another tip is to keep the phone out of the bedroom. Buy a cheap alarm clock. We talked about this before, the old school alarm clock. Yes, because if the phone is the last thing you see at night and the first thing you see in the morning, your brain never gets a break. If you leave it charging in the kitchen, you start and end your day with your own thoughts. I tried this once actually, and do you know what happened? I actually read a book before that. I haven't read a physical book in years, but because my phone wasn't there, I was bored, so I picked up a book. See? Boredom is good. We are so afraid of being bored, but boredom is where creativity happens. It's where relaxation happens. I totally agree. We need to embrace the boredom. I have a funny question for you, Mike. Have you heard of the dumb phone trend? The dumb phone? You mean like the old Nokias, the bricks? Yes, it is becoming a trend among Gen Z. They are ditching their iPhones and buying old flip phones that can only call and text.
No way. That is hilarious. It's like going back to 2005.
It is, but they say it makes them feel so much freer. They aren't tracked, they aren't distracted. They take pictures with digital cameras instead.
Could you do it, Sarah? Could you swap your smartphone for a flip phone? Be honest.
Oh, that is a tough question. To be honest, I don't think so. Not permanently.
Why not?
The maps. I have zero sense of direction. If I didn't have Google Maps, I would get lost going to the grocery store. And the music. I need my Spotify playlists for my commute.
I'm with you on that. I need my podcasts, like Nightly English Mics, of course. I couldn't give that up.
Nice plug. But yeah, I think for most of us, going completely dumb phone isn't realistic. It's about finding a middle ground.
A middle ground, like maybe deleting the apps that cause the most problems?
Exactly. For me, that was TikTok. I realized I was spending 2 hours a night just watching random videos. It wasn't making me happy, it was just killing time. So I deleted it.
And did you miss it?
For the first 2 days, yes. My thumb kept going to the spot on the screen where the app used to be. It was muscle memory. But after a week, I forgot about it. And suddenly, I had 2 extra hours in my day.
That is amazing. 2 hours is a lot of time. You could learn a language, go to the gym, cook a meal.
Or just sleep.
Or sleep. Sleep is good.
You know, Mike, there is another aspect of this that we haven't touched on yet, the work culture.
Oh, that's a big one. The expectation to be always on.
Right. In many jobs now, people expect you to answer emails at 8 p.m. or on the weekend. Because we carry our email in our pockets, we never really leave the office.
That is so unhealthy. It leads to burnout. Burnout is when you are completely exhausted and can't work anymore.
Exactly. I think a digital detox is essential for preventing burnout. We have to set boundaries with our bosses and colleagues, too. Like, I will not check my email after 6 p.m.
That takes courage, though, especially if you are young and want to impress your boss.
It does. But I think more companies are starting to realize that rested employees are better employees. If you are on your phone 24/7, your brain gets fried. You can't think clearly.
My brain gets fried. I love that expression. It's exactly how I feel after a long day of Zoom calls and emails.
So, Mike, let's imagine a world where everyone did a digital detox. What do you think would change?
Wow, deep question. I think people would be more observant. You know, when you walk down the street now, everyone is looking down. They are bumping into each other. If we looked up, we might smile at strangers. We might notice the architecture or the trees.
I think you're right. We would be more present. Being present is such a gift. It means actually living in the moment, not living in a virtual version of the moment.
And I think our attention spans would improve. Right now, I feel like I have the attention span of a goldfish. I can't watch a movie without checking my phone.
A goldfish. I've heard that comparison before. It's sad, but true. We are training our brains to be distracted. A detox helps retrain the brain to focus.
So it's like going to the gym for your mind?
Exactly. It's mental fitness.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. I really am. I want to challenge myself, and I want to challenge our listeners too.
I love a good challenge. What do you have in mind?
Let's start small. We don't have to throw our phones in the river. Let's try the first 30, last 30 rule.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. What is it?
No screens for the first 30 minutes of the day, and no screens for the last 30 minutes of the day.
That sounds doable. So when you wake up, instead of grabbing the phone, you what?
You stretch, you open the window, you make coffee, you talk to your partner or your cat. Just let your brain wake up naturally.
And at night, you wind down. You read, you write in a journal, you listen to soft music.
Exactly. I think that one small change could make a huge difference in how we feel.
I am definitely in. I'm going to try it starting tonight.
Me too. But Sarah, what if we fail? What if I wake up and accidentally check Instagram?
Then you forgive yourself and try again the next day. It's not about perfection, Mike. It's about progress. It's about being more aware.
That is very wise. Awareness is the first step. Just realizing, hey, I'm spending too much time on this device is a victory.
It is. And there are actually apps that can help you detox, which sounds ironic, using an app to stop using apps.
Fight fire with fire. What kind of apps?
There are apps that grow a virtual tree while you are not using your phone. If you leave the app to check Instagram, your tree dies.
Oh no, I would feel so guilty if I killed my little virtual tree. That is a great psychological trick.
It works. It's called gamification, making it into a game.
I might try that. Anything to keep me focused.
Talking about all this reminds me of when we were kids. Do you remember life before smartphones?
I do, just barely. I remember running around the neighborhood with my friends until the streetlights came on. Nobody could call us. We were just free.
And if you wanted to see a friend, you had to go to their house and knock on the door. Hello, is Mike home?
Yes, and if he wasn't home, you just left. You didn't text him, "Where are you?" You just went to do something else.
It was a slower pace of life. We can't go back to that completely. The world has changed, but we can try to recapture that feeling of freedom.
I think that's the goal, freedom. We want to use technology. We don't want technology to use us.
Well said. We want to be the masters, not the slaves.
This has been such a refreshing conversation, Sarah. I feel like my brain is already clearer just talking about it.
Me too. It's good to remind ourselves that real life is happening right here, right now, not on a server in California.
Before we wrap up, I have one more question. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who is feeling completely overwhelmed by their digital life right now, someone who feels like they're drowning in emails and notifications, what would it be?
I would say start with a walk. Leave your phone at home. Just go outside for 10 minutes. Look at the sky, breathe the air. Remind yourself that the world is big and beautiful, and the internet is just a tiny, tiny part of it.
That is beautiful advice. A 10-minute walk. I think everyone can find 10 minutes.
What about you, Mike? What is your final piece of wisdom?
My advice would be observe people. Next time you're on a train or in a cafe, don't look at your phone. Look at the people around you. You might see something funny or interesting or sweet. You reconnect with humanity, and that is worth more than any tweet or like.
I love that. Connection. That's what it's all about.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to sign off. But before we do, we have a favor to ask our listeners.
Yes, we want to hear from you. In the comments below, tell us, what is your biggest distraction? Is it Instagram, YouTube, or maybe just texting?
And let us know if you're going to try the first 30, last 30 challenge with us. We can support each other.
I love a good challenge. We read every single comment, and we love hearing your stories. You guys are the best community on YouTube.
You really are. Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We know you have a million other things you could be watching on your phone, so we appreciate you choosing us.
But now the episode is over, so put down the phone,
Go outside,
talk to a human.
eat a cookie.
Yes, eat a cookie. Thanks for listening, everyone.
This has been Nightly English Mics. I'm Mike.
And I'm Sarah.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye, everyone.